fear quotes and sayings. You can conquer almost any fear if you will only make up your mind to do so. For remember, fear doesn't exist anywhere except in the mind. Always do what you are afraid to do. If you want to conquer fear, don't sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You can discover what your enemy fears most by observing the means he uses to frighten you. Don't fear failure so much that you refuse to try new things. Fears are nothing more than states of mind. Fear is the mother of morality. There is a time to take counsel of your fears, and there is a time to never listen to any fear. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. You block your dream when you allow your fear to grow bigger than your faith. He who fears being conquered is sure of defeat. Of all base passions, fear is the most accursed. Keep your fears to yourself, share your courage with others. You either move towards something you love or away from something you fear. The first expands. The second constricts. Every time you win, it diminishes the fear a little bit. You never really cancel the fear of losing, you keep challenging it. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Never fear shadows. They simply mean there's a light shining somewhere nearby. It's the opinion of some that crops could be grown on the moon, which raises the fear that it may not be long before we're paying somebody not to. We should not let our fears hold us back from pursuing our hopes. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. If fear is cultivated, it will become stronger. If faith is cultivated, it will achieve mastery. Fear is excitement without breath. Try a thing you haven't done 3 times. Once, to get over the fear of doing it. Twice, to learn how to do it. And a 3rd time to figure out whether you like it or not. It is better to be feared than loved, more prudent to be cruel than compassionate. Fear is a dark room where negatives develop. There are very few monsters who warrant the fear we have of them. The surest way to prevent war is not to fear it. Fear is the lengthened shadow of ignorance. Fear is the needle that pierces us that it may carry a thread to bind us to heaven. Apprehension, uncertainty, waiting, expectation, fear of surprise, do a patient more harm than any exertion. Great occasions do not make heroes or cowards, they simply unveil them to the eyes of men. He who fears something gives it power over him. I can pretty much take care of myself, I don't walk around with much fear. Fear makes strangers of people who would be friends. Fear has a large shadow, but he himself is small. To suffering there is a limit, to fearing, none. To fear is one thing. To let fear grab you by the tail and swing you around is another. The things which we fear the most in life have already happened to us. Get the facts first, then panic. The basis of optimism is sheer terror. To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. No one loves the man whom he fears. Fear breeds fear. It was a high counsel that I once heard given to a young person, always do what you are afraid to do. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. The things you fear are undefeatable, not by the nature, but by your approach. Hi, I'm Amy, one of the IVONA text-to-speech voices created using Bright Voice technology. Enter here any text and click play.
Hello, my name is Jennifer. Would you believe if I told you my voice is not human? It's true. Enter any text and press play.
Hi, I'm Salli. I am the first IVONA text-to-speech teenage voice. I will read for you everything you want. Enter here any text and click play.